Let me talk to the one who feels like their life has been spinning out of control. To the one who's looked around and said, "Where is God in all this?" You've done all you were supposed to do. You prayed. You waited. You served. And yet, instead of things getting better, they got harder. The storm hit. The money dried up. The opportunity vanished. The betrayal came from the one you never expected. And somewhere inside, you whispered, "Lord, are you still with me?" I want to tell you yes. Not only is he with you, he's still in control. Psalm 46 verses 1 to 2 says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea." That means, no matter how chaotic life feels, God hasn't lost control of the pen that's writing your story. He didn't forget you in the middle of the mess. Even now, he's still God. But why does God let life hit so hard? Let's be honest. It's easy to believe in God's goodness when everything's working, when your account is full, when your health is stable, when the doors open on time. But what about when things don't go as planned? What about the job you lost? The prayer you prayed for years with no answer? The relationship that broke? The depression that won't lift? You want to believe, but you're tired. You want to trust, but you're weary. You want to fight, but you're out of strength. That's why God gives us his word, because faith isn't about feelings, it's about facts. Romans 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose." Did you catch that? In all things. That means the good and the painful, the joy and the heartbreak, the breakthrough and the breakdown. God can use it all, and he will. Sometimes God allows the breaking before the building in the Bible. Before God ever elevated Joseph to the palace, he allowed him to be thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Betrayed, forgotten, falsely accused. Joseph had every reason to quit on faith. But what he didn't know is that God was positioning him through every pain. Each no was leading him to a greater yes. Each injustice was building the foundation for his promotion. Genesis 50 verse 20. After all the pain, Joseph said to his brothers, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." So if life feels like it's falling apart, what if it's really falling into place? God doesn't change because your situation did. The economy can shift. People can switch up. Your emotions can go up and down. But God remains steady. Malachi 3 verse 6 says, "I am the Lord, I change not." That means the same God who delivered you before, who healed you before, who provided before, he will do it again. He's not panicked. He's not pacing heaven. He's not confused. He saw your storm coming before you ever felt the wind. And he already planned your escape route. You're surrounded. Even if you don't see it, there's a story in 2 Kings 6. The prophet Elisha and his servant wake up one morning to find themselves surrounded by an enemy army. The servant panics, but Elisha remains calm. Why? Because he saw something his servant didn't. He prayed, "Lord, open his eyes so he may see." And the servant's eyes were opened, and he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire. Here's the lesson. Just because you don't see the help doesn't mean the help isn't there. You are more surrounded by heaven than you are surrounded by hell. God has angels assigned to your situation. He has strategies you haven't even dreamed of. So don't give up, even when you feel outnumbered. Final words for this part: you're not forgotten. You're not invisible. You're not late. And most of all, you're not fighting alone. The same God who split the Red Sea, the same God who shut the lion's mouth, the same God who raised the dead, is the same God standing with you now. Don't quit. Don't retreat. Don't let the storm make you forget who your anchor is. Hold on, because God is still in control. Listen to me carefully. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not the one who missed it. Heaven hasn't skipped over your name. And no, this is not the end of your story. I know it feels like you're in a slow lane, like life is passing you by while others sprint ahead. I know what it's like to watch others get the promotion, the marriage, the breakthrough, the applause, while you sit quietly in the back row, wondering when your turn will come, if it ever will. But hey, race the truth. You are exactly where God needs you to be for what he is preparing. That silence you hear, That delay you're experiencing, that waiting room you're tired of sitting in, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Heaven is working, even in what looks like stillness. Because God doesn't waste seasons. He develops warriors in the wilderness. He molds vessels in the fire. And he writes his best masterpieces in the dark, before anyone sees the light. The world tells you you're behind if you're not rich by 25, married by 30, settled by 35, famous by 40. But God is not ruled by timelines, my friend. He is the Ancient of Days. He doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. He doesn't measure your progress by Instagram milestones or society's noisy expectations. He measures your life by your obedience, not your calendar. Look at Joseph. He was betrayed, sold, imprisoned, and forgotten. But in one moment, God elevated him from prisoner to palace. Years of pain reversed in a day. Because when a season changes, God doesn't need your help, just your readiness. Let me speak to the version of you that's been struggling in silence. The version of you that smiles in public, but battles waves of discouragement in private. I know you've been trying to stay faithful. I know you've been showing up, doing your best, praying your heart out. But lately it's felt like no one sees. Not even God. But let me make something clear from the start. God has not left you. He has not turned away. He has not ignored your prayers. He's not punishing you with stillness. His silence is not absence. His delays are not rejection. In fact, what you're calling a delay may be the exact setup for something far greater than you asked for. You see, the world has trained us to believe that fast is good. That quick success means we're favored. But God doesn't move on human timelines. He doesn't rush purpose. He doesn't microwave character. He is the potter, and potters take their time with clay. And you, child of God, are being shaped. Even now, while you wait, while you question, while you wonder if it's all for nothing, He is shaping you, shaping your trust, shaping your strength, shaping your spirit, because what He's preparing you for is greater than what you've been praying for. Think about David. He was anointed king while he was still a teenager, still smelling like sheep from the fields. But he didn't go straight to the throne. He went through caves, rejection, fear, isolation, hiding. Why? Because he wasn't just called to wear a crown. He was called to carry the weight of leadership. And weight requires preparation. The weight of favor, the weight of influence, the weight of spiritual maturity. God doesn't give big blessings to small foundations. So the process? It's not punishment. It's a build-up. You've been asking God to give you the blessing, but He's trying to give you the backbone to sustain it. You want the doors to open, but He wants your heart rooted deep in Him. So when the doors fly open, the applause won't shake your identity. Because favor without foundation is dangerous. So yes, this season may be quiet. Yes, you may feel like nothing is moving. Yes, you may cry some nights wondering if this faith walk is even working. But I need you to trust this. God is not finished, not even close. And the very fact that you still wake up every morning, despite the pain, is proof that grace is still flowing.